Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. I almost said Star Trek Starfleet Academy. You can tell what's on my mind, but welcome back as we continue to go through the reference materials. And we are almost through the fighter section, I believe. We don't have too many more entries left. Last time we did the F-16 and the F-22, so today we'll do the F-104 and the F-18 in two separate videos, of course, as always, which, just if you didn't know, I am posting these two at a time, one at 3:30 Central, one at 4:30 Central, so be sure to check back. If you see one, there's going to generally be another with it, so. Today's episode, the F-104 Starfighter. Title, Lockheed Starfighter, USAF designation F-104. Type, single-seat multi-purpose combat aircraft. Program, development of the F-104 began in 1951. After production ceased in the USA, Canada, Italy, and Japan continued to produce the aircraft under license. The F-104 is still in service within the following countries: Italy, 135+, Taiwan, 130+, and Turkey, 170+. And, I think it's been completely retired by this point, just because it is so old. Design features: cantilever mid-wing monoplane, biconvex supersonic wing section with a thickness chord ratio of 3.36%, anhedral 10 degrees, no incidents, sweepback 18 degrees 6 minutes at quarter chord, leading edge nose radius of 0.41 millimeters or 0.016 inches, and razor sharp trailing edge. Narrow chord ventral fin on centerline and two smaller lateral fins under fuselage to improve stability. Structure: all metal structure with two main spars, 12 span-wise intermediate channels between spars, and top and bottom one-piece skin panels tapering from thickness of 6.3 millimeters or a quarter inch at root to 3.2 millimeters or 1/8 inch at tip. Each half wing measures 2.31 meters or 7 feet 7 inches from root to tip and is a separate structure cantilevered from 5 forged frames in fuselage. The fuselage is an all-metal monocoque structure. Hydraulically operated aluminum air brake on each side of rear fuselage. The tail unit is a T-type cantilever unit with all-flying one-piece horizontal tail surface hinged at mid-chord point at top of the vertical fin and powered by a hydraulic servo. Tailplane has a similar profile to wing and is all metal. Landing gear: retractable tricycle type with Dowdy patent liquid spring shock absorbers on main units, Oleo pneumatic shock absorbers on nose unit, hydraulic actuation, main wheels raised in and forward. Steerable nose wheel retracts forward in the fuselage. Main wheel legs are hinged on oblique axes so that the wheels lie flush within the fuselage when retracted. Main wheels size 26x8 with Goodrich tires, size 26x8, type 8, 18-ply rating, pressure 11.93 bars or 173 pounds per square inch. Nose wheel tire size 18x5.5, type 7, 14-ply rating. Bendix hydraulic disc brakes with Goodyear anti-skid units, arrestor hook under rear fuselage, braking parachute in rear fuselage. Power plant: one General Electric J79 GE19 turbojet engine rated at 52.8 kilonewtons or 11,870 pounds force. Dry and 79.62 kilonewtons or 17,900 pounds force with afterburner. Electrical de-icing elements fitted to air intakes. Most of the aircraft's hydraulic equipment mounted inside large engine bay door under fuselage to facilitate servicing. Internal fuel in 5 bag-type fuselage tanks with total standard capacity of 3,392 liters or 896 US gallons or 746 imperial gallons. Provision for external fuel in 2 740-liter or 195 US gallon or 162 imperial gallon pylon tanks and 2 645-liter or 170 US gallon or 142 imperial gallon wingtip tanks. Accommodation: pressurized and air-conditioned cockpit well forward of wings, canopy hinged to starboard for access, Martin Baker IQ-7A00 ejection seat. Armament: 9 external attachment points at wingtips, under wings, and under fuselage for bombs, rocket pods, auxiliary fuel tanks, and air-to-air missiles. Normal primary armament consists of 2 Raytheon AIM-7 Sparrow 3 air-to-air missiles under wings and/or 2 Sidewinders under fuselage, and either a Sidewinder or a 645-liter or 170 U.S. gallon or 142 Imperial gallon fuel tank on each wingtip. Alternatively, an M61 20mm multi-barrel rotary cannon can be fitted in the port underside of the fuselage instead of the AIM-7 missile control package. Max external weapon load 3,402 kilograms or 7,500 pounds. Dimensions external, wingspan without tip tanks 6.68 meters or 21 feet 11 inches, wing chord mean 2.91 meters or 9 feet and 6 7/12 inches. Wing aspect ratio 2.45, length overall 16.69 meters or 54 feet 9 inches. Length of fuselage 15.62 meters or 51 feet 3 inches. Height overall 14.11 meters or 13 feet 6 inches. Tailplane span 3.63 meters or 11 feet 11 inches. Wing weights and loadings: weight empty 6,700 kilograms or 14,900 pounds. Max internal fuel load 2,641 kilograms or 5,824 pounds. Max internal and external fuel load 5,153 kilograms or 11,362 pounds. Takeoff weight, clean, 9,840 kilograms or 21,690 pounds. Max takeoff weight, 14,000 kilograms or 31,000 pounds. Max zero fuel weight, clean, 6,806 kilograms or 15,006 pounds. Max zero fuel weight fighter bomber, 7,148 kilograms or 15,760 pounds. Max wing loading, 540 kilograms per meter squared or 110.7 pounds per square inch. Performance at 9,840 kilograms or 21,690 pounds. AUW except where indicated. Never exceed speed Mach 2.2. Max level speed at 11,000 meters 36,000 feet Mach 2.2 or 1,259 knots or 2,300 kilometers per hour or 1,450 miles per hour. Max level speed at sea level Mach 1.2 or 790 knots or 1,464 kilometers per hour or 910 miles per hour. Max cruising speed at 11,000 meters or 36,000 feet, 530 knots or 981 kilometers per hour or 610 miles per hour. Econ cruising speed Mach 0.85, service ceiling 17,680 meters or 58,000 feet. Time to climb to 10,670 meters or 35,000 feet, 1 minute 20 seconds. Time to climb to 17,070 meters or 56,000 feet, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Typical landing run at sea level 762 meters or 2,500 feet. Radius with max fuel 673 nautical miles or 1,247 kilometers or 775 miles. Ferry range excluding flight refueling 1,576 nautical miles or 2,920 kilometers or 1,815 miles. Length 16.69 meters. Height 4.11 meters. Wingspan 6.68 meters. Max takeoff weight 14,060 kilograms. Max wing loading 540 kilograms per meter squared. Max level speed 1,259 knots. Service ceiling 17,680 meters. Takeoff run 823 meters. And here we can see the view. Now I believe if my memory is serving me right, in the original version of that I played, which was Jane's USNF 97, this aircraft was actually blue, like a blue and a gray. I think it was supposed to be trying to model kind of like, that 50s era, very reflective Air Force skin. But here you can see it has a much more modern take with just an all dark gray. And I think this is closer to what you would have seen on these, in Italian service, for example, or Turkish service. In like the 80s to the 2000s or whenever they were eventually pulled out of service. And this aircraft has actually had a bit of a comeback lately, at least in terms of people knowing about it, notoriety. Obviously, it's most famous for the Lockheed bribery scandal, which caused it to be purchased by several countries, including Germany, for the ground attack role, for which it was very not well suited. This was used in Ace Combat 7. I think this was a plane that, like, the mechanic in Ace Combat 7 was working on. It's been couple years since I played Ace Combat 7, so I don't remember it, but I do remember this plane in a cameo, and I believe you can unlock it to fly in there as well. Very unique design, but the 50s, the late 40s, early 50s saw a lot of very different designs compared to what we would consider to be conventional nowadays. And we've got some videos to go with it, so let's start with the design video.
Lockheed's concept for a new supersonic air superiority day fighter was presented to the United States Air Force in November 1952. The design was for a single-seat, single-engine fighter with unprecedented performance, able to outclimb, outrun, and fly higher than all other fighter aircraft of that day. Exceptionally agile and maneuverable, it was to be a dog fighter in the truest sense. Lockheed's proposal was well received, and after the go-ahead was issued for a full-scale engineering mock-up, actual construction of the first F-104 prototype began in the summer of 1953. First flight was in March 1954, and after several flight testing phases, the U.S. Air Force ordered 146 production F-104As in March of '56. The aircraft entered operational service in January '58, and by 1959, nearly 300 F-104s had been delivered, including the two-seat B and D models. The F-104 was initially armed with a 6-barrel 20mm cannon and two AIM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. Later improvements to its arsenal included additional missile stores, conventional bombs, nuclear weapons, and advanced radar-directed fire control systems. By 1967, the U.S. Air Force phased out the F-104 from frontline service, although overseas demand for the fighter remained high. By the mid-'80s, total production reached 2,578, and the last model, the F-104S Super Starfighter, remained in service with the Italian Air Force until 1995.
Alright, and now we have a history video, so let's quick watch that.
The F-104 Starfighter was designed to fill the need for a new post-Korean War tactical fighter to supplement and ultimately replace the F-100 Super Sabre. It was also planned as an interim link between the F-102 Delta Dagger and its replacement, the F-106 Delta Dart. Mission roles included air superiority, air defense, reconnaissance, and tactical strike. Soon after testing began, it was clearly evident that the Starfighter was a highly versatile aircraft of advanced design and superior performance. On May 18, 1958, an F-104A set a world speed record of 1,404.19 miles per hour, a mark which would be broken by another 104 the following year. And on December 14, 1959, an F-104C set a world altitude record of 103,395 feet. In fact, the Starfighter was the first aircraft to hold simultaneous official world records for speed, altitude, and time to climb. In April 1965, 25 single-seat F-104Cs were ordered to Da Nang Air Base in South Vietnam. Once deployed, the Starfighters helped neutralize the threat of aerial strikes from the north, and were given the secondary mission of flying low-level close support strikes against ground targets. Despite its limited range and subordinate mission, F-104 squadrons served proudly over 13 months of duty, flying over 2,200 combat sorties.
Alright, and that about wraps things up for today, so later on we'll be covering the Hornet, but that's for next time. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.